Alright. Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classic. That's known classic. This is episode number 2898 and Doubleshot number 2782. We have two Superman books here, and with these particular books, when I finish talking about them, I'll make an announcement related to these books. So, first discussing Action Comics, issues 799 to 810. So, by the way, pretty much all these issues are written by Joe Kelly, where pretty much in the way, the artwork is bizarre. It's done by Carlos McGee. You give him a bed. It's like him going about to his normal day. The whole Prime of Fear thing is basically like a weird mini virus that affects Metropolis for a whole issue, and it's easy to dispatch with. And that's kind of the way issue 799. It's basically a standalone issue. 800 is, of course, like yes, probably a double-sized issue. And it is. Does multiple arts on it. For Action Comics number 800. Yes, Joe Kelly does the writing with these some people on the artwork. Basically, it's only one story for this one. These are the artists: Mikhail Fury, Duncan Russell, Alex Ross, Tony Harris, Bill Sienkiewicz, Dave Bullock, Ed McGinnis, J.H. Williams III, Dan Jurgens, Claus Johnson, Colin Pudick, Jim Lee, Tim Sale, and laid by Jim Rome. You might be curious, I haven't met any of these artists. I met Dan Jurgens. I met Tony Harris. And that's it. It is basically all about Superman in this double-sized issue. Yeah, it's various different people, like their perspective on Superman throughout the years. And that's really what the issue is. Basically, a lot of artists is one issue. You're thinking, Nick, wow, you read a lot of these really big issues, like in a very short period of time. Like, last video you just discussed, basically, Superman 200. Like, not long ago you did Man of Steel 100. And, of course, you did Avengers Comics 600. That's true, I did. But it just happened to be that way. But great issue. There's all thing with the Blackhawks too, which is awesome. Like Eric White. Then we have issue 801, Enemy Fire. I love the cover. It's the cover's by Dave Bullock. Reminds me of the Superman animated series. You have Joe Kelly, of course, and Tom Rooney on the artwork. Mostly it's basically Superman versus the European General Zod. Yep. And of course, stuff with basically Luthor in this one. In issue number 802 begins a two-part story where Superman has to battle Zod, Colonel Rick, Fiora, and Ignition. Yeah, basically battling them for the next couple issues. Mm-hmm. Three. And of course, Blackhawks have involved in the story too, which is awesome. The story gets to conclude issue 805. I thought it went on for 2 issues. It went basically 5. But excellent story. By the end of this, the European General Zod, he gets killed off here, finally. Of course, you have Mongo and Metallica in the issue. And 806 basically features the return of it deals with Girl 13, aka Tracy 13. Yeah. It's a whole issue focused on her for this one. This will also be her last appearance in Action Comics, this one issue. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a nice standalone issue, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Well, X-Pro 2-parter. And basically, the big thing this one is that we have Natasha becoming, basically Natasha Steele's becoming Steel first time. Yep, that's the big thing related to this one. We also have two guys named Saki and Bukio. Yeah, for Makia, this will be her last appearance in the book. Of course, the Sarah L. on the Future Swift, she appears in this issue too. This will be, she'll be here one more time after this, 813. But this is kind of a return after appearing basically regularly in Superman. And 808, we continue the story, and then basically by 809, I think it's the conclusion, right? Actually, no, 8, that one. That was called The Creeping Death. Yeah, it's basically Superman versus the Creeper in this issue, which is interesting. Yes, and then we have Libyans New Year, with basically a book released in December of 2004, where it's basically Superman take on Dr. Spectro. Yes, and only Cap Nada appears in this issue for a quick appearance. Yep. Will this be the only time he fights Superman? Oh no, he actually fought him a few times. Basically, this will be the first time since Action 760 he's fought him in this book. Aside from this book, the only time he's ever fought him was actually in the third issue of Superman Batman. And that's pretty much it. But I gotta say, great issues overall for Action Comics. Nothing really bad here per se. I'd say it's something that Action Comics has some really good stuff here. But now moving on to Adventures Superman. This one has a little bit more than Action Comics does. So basically, oh, so actually it's not 13 issues, actually just 12. Start issue 612, where he's basically Superman versus a past version of himself. Oh, and the Champion Press is basically Superman for the Golden Age. Yeah, it's a really interesting issue dealing with this guy called the Hollow Man. Hollow Men. Yeah, they're basically the main villains. This is their arc. They showed up in 612 and they returned for 614, 616. They later returned for Superman Volume 2. Superboy, anyways. Yeah, and then we have a Valentine's issue with this book, where it's basically, well, Superman going on a date with Lois. I think that's awesome. The Hollow Man story gets wrapped up by issue 616. By 617, it's a brand new story here. Rather, rinse, repeat. Yes. We focus on the Mox twins. Yeah, we deal with these weirdos. Floor on the break stuff. Yeah, and of course, the Basura comes back here too with this one. Love the cover for issue 619, where it's just basically like Lois and Clark on the job. Yeah. And then we have Superman dealing with a guy called Supernova. Basically, it's a lot of one-shot stuff here for these mini issues. Also, John Stewart pops up in this one in 621. We have debut of someone called the Minuteman, who gets killed, who basically disappears after the very next issue. Yeah, and Superman deals with Copperhead in this one. Yep. And then finally, 623, Believe, where it's basically, in flashback, Superman deals with Hector Hammond. And that's it. That's Adventure Superman. Yep, that's all discussed Adventure Superman. Yeah, you kind of went quick, Nick, but yeah, there's not real lot to discuss here. This one, good stuff. And it's interesting, though, these issues came out the year I started reading comics. which was 2004. I found that to be interesting. Yes. So I'm going to give Action Comics issue 799 to 810 a 9 out of 10. And the same rating for, I thought it was going to be Adventures issue 611, 623. It was actually 612 to 623 because I reviewed 611 already. Yep. But yeah, so that, and by the way, thing I would mention for Superman. So we're reviewing these finish reading this stuff here. It's project complete when it comes to post-crisis Superman comics. Yes, everything post-crisis Superman for his multiple titles are all done. Basically, Action Comics, though I got pre-crisis to take care of. Avengers Superman, Superman Volume 2, Superman of Steel, Man of Tomorrow, Superman Batman, all done. Completely done. It is like the Superman Batman stuff basically was part of a separate book, but there's more Batman stuff. But I had a lot of fun reviewing these comics. Yes, those some of them I reviewed already. Thanks for few trade paperbacks I reviewed, like Death of Superman and Panic in the Sky. Yeah. This all started with reviewing this one omnibus, Superman Exiled and Other Stories, where it contained a lot of issues of Adventures Superman and like a handful of issues of Action and and some issues of like Superman Volume 2. But had a lot of fun doing this. And it's a good thing before I started doing all this stuff, basically the first thing I did, got all the annuals reviewed, get those out of the way first. And the specials. I got them all done. Purely so I'm not worried about them, reading them later. So I got them all the way. It's basically Emma when I started a series that I was already reviewing, that I get the annuals done first, so I'm not worried about them later. Yep. But in the case of Adventures Superman, I'd say that basically this book was fun from the moment it started with 625. And actually 620, it was actually 424 when I started with, and this went on into a 449. All this review now, I would say that basically started slipping with like 24/7 storyline. As it's got a bit back up, I'd say during the last couple years, like basically from like 2000 to about basically this point, it's been pretty interesting per se. This period of time, though I can't technically review all the issues, mostly released in 2000 anyways, thanks to reviewing Superman, City of Tomorrow, which I'm surprised they released any more trades that one, given the fact there's still more issues to collect there. But yeah, so what's replacing two books? Well, Man is basically the 4 books anyways. Man of Steel, I replaced that with The Question. With Superman Volume 2, it's going to be Green Lantern Volume 1. Eventually I'm going to do Green Lantern Volume 2, excuse me. Avengers Superman, I am replacing this with DC Comics Presents. Why not? It's not a bad idea to do. It'll get it done. And I'll place Action Comics, which won't last very long. Place with Power Girl. Yeah. Power Girl will not take me very long to get through. Nope, it won't. But when I started Power Girl, I'll start first with her 3 issues of Showcase that she appeared in, issues 70, 97, 99. And I'll do her first time, then I'll do the ongoing. After that's done, I'll move to something else. Power Girl will not take very long, because I want to do something quick and before I move with something else, I get more books done for DC. Okay, so that's very much a particular view. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and join in the like button. Next up, I'm going to go back to watching Evil Retry. Okay, next view. Bye.